Help, help. Oh, how can I help? What? Is there a way I can help? I need help. Do you want help? What?
Welcome to The Wall. In today's video, we'll hear several women talk about how they're struggling financially, what single life is really like, and why the story that single women are the happiest is a complete lie. I'm not asking for anything more than a like. That really helps boost the content. Leave a comment with your experience and wisdom. We always pin the best comment for the community. Subscribe, and without further ado, let's get started.
This is a very vulnerable video because I just got done having a mental breakdown. But to all of my single gals out there who live on their own and get all of their stuff for themselves on their own, I am proud of you because I am one of those people. And it is so hard sometimes. I feel so secure in being single and being on my own. And I really enjoy it, but the hardest factor of it is money. It's so hard to feel so good being single, but wish so badly that you just had, a partner to be able to rely on a little bit as well. You guys could both rely on each other when it comes to finances and stuff like that, like rent, groceries, just anything. It's honestly so hard sometimes seeing my friends who are pretty much all in long-term relationships and living with their significant others. And meanwhile, I just made a spreadsheet of the things that my money goes towards, because I'm looking for a new apartment, and apartments are so expensive right now, especially just to live alone. Why do some places want you to cough up over $2,000 for a 300 square foot apartment that's a studio apartment? It's absolutely ridiculous. I should be able to support myself on my income and be able to afford my rent, but I can't because all of you crappy landlords out there want to charge literally an arm and a leg for me to be able to have a roof over my head. Anyways, the point of this video is just saying for all of you girlies out there taking care of yourselves, I see you, because it is not easy to do. And I don't know, any girls who are out there being able to do that and being able to pay their rent and also occasionally do things that they enjoy or maybe treat themselves to something every now and then, how are you doing it? How are you doing it? Because I think I might be at my breaking point.
Oh, boo-hoo! Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
The irony of all this is that for years, women repeated that they were strong and independent, that they didn't need a man. However, today there are more women below the poverty line than there were 20 years ago, and that's despite the fact that they hold far more jobs now. The issue isn't their capability, but rather that the destruction of the family has left many of them financially broken. This woman, for example, could have been with an average, hardworking man, sharing expenses and pushing forward together toward a common goal. In 5 years, they probably would have been settled, looking for a home of their own. But that model has been demonized. Nowadays, many prefer to be alone just so they don't depend on a man. And that's why we're seeing more and more women struggling just to survive.
Don't get me wrong, I love being single and I love living alone. It's great, it's fantastic, but fuck, it's expensive. I just spent $600 on brakes on my car, just on the front part of the car, because I couldn't afford all 4 brakes and axles and rotors and whatever the fuck. And then now I just paid my car payment, which is $500, so I just blew $1,100 in 3 hours, and it wasn't even fun, Fuck. Sorry, it's just so overwhelming. You work and 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 you work, and it's just to pay off your basic necessities. And you can't, in this city that I live in, public transport, please. If I were to do public transport, it's like asking to get raped, and I really shouldn't be crying because now I have to go to another work event, and now I'm gonna be all puffy. I'm just... living is so expensive. Just keeping yourself alive and floating is so expensive. And what I was saying before I was rudely interrupted is if I were to take public transport here, especially for my job requires a car. I have to have a bunch of shit that I have to lug with me for work. And I can't do that with public transport. I'm venting. Inflation sucks. Just living in America sucks. Living alone sucks. Great, but it sucks. Because you have to front all the expenses by yourself. I need a husband just so that I can live. So we can split the bills.
Oh, hell no!
What makes me laugh is when she says, I need a husband just to be able to live. Like her, there are many women who only see men as ATMs. That's why so many men today want nothing to do with supporting a woman. They'd rather stay single than become providers for someone who only sees them as a financial solution. You start getting to know a girl, and she's already asking you to solve something for her. But they were the ones who asked for empowerment. They said they'd rather be alone, even with a bear. The problem is, the bear doesn't pay the bills. Being a functional adult, earning an income, and maintaining a household is hard, especially in this economy. In the end, many of them would have been happier as housewives, but the modern narrative won't let them admit it.
So this is my second video today talking about this topic, but I am literally so stressed out. I am applying for jobs left and right, and I'm feeling so defeated and so frustrated because I'm barely getting job interviews, and then when I do, they go so well, but I don't know how to make it work with our life. I genuinely don't know what I'm going to do for summer. I don't have childcare help as much as I used to. And I am just panicking. I am so stressed out. I'm so frustrated that you have two people that create children, and one just gets to have the career they want, make whatever money they need to, work whatever hours they want to, and then you have the other one who's the primary default parent who has to navigate their life, their career around childcare and three people's schedules. And it is exhausting. And I'm feeling like I'm failing. And I'm trying so hard to be present and be there. And I just miss so much because of this situation. And I just wouldn't wish it upon anyone. I don't know how we're supposed to do it.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
If there's a married woman watching this video, I want you to take a good look at this woman, because this is what awaits many who decide to leave their husbands. A lot of women buy into the narrative of radical feminism, the one that spreads resentment and tells you to leave your husband over any trivial reason, promising that you'll be better off alone, even if you have a child with you. But in the end, the opposite happens: a divided family, a harder life, struggling to maintain the lifestyle you once shared, a child lacking due to the absence of his father, and a woman who is exhausted, anxious, depressed, and carrying the full financial burden on her shoulders. That's what they don't tell you when they urge you to break up your family to be happy.
I think there are a lot of people out there who think that being a single person is really easy financially because they're like, oh, well, you only have to pay for yourself. And like, wrong. Yeah, I do only have to pay for myself, which means I have to pay for my rent entirely by myself. I don't split it with a partner. My council tax bill, even though there's only one person, is only discounted by 25%. So if you're splitting your bill down the middle with a partner, I'm still paying more than you individually. My energy bills, yeah, okay, I pay less than you, but I'm not paying half because most of that cost is a standing charge. If I want to go on holiday, I have to pay for the room or the cabin entirely by myself. If I want to get a mortgage, I have to have a bigger deposit, and I can't get approved to borrow as much because I only have one income. Like, financially is really, really difficult to be a single person. And I think more people need to remember that when they're talking to their single friends.
I was reading a study that pointed out that one of the biggest destroyers of wealth in the United States is the lack of families, whether in common law unions or marriage. So many single people create problems that range from increased demand for individual housing to greater consumption of services separately. There's also a direct impact on health, especially for women, who often carry the full financial burden. Over time, many of these individuals end up reflecting on what life would be like in a relationship. They realize how much less they would spend if they shared their life with a stable man, and how much faster their financial growth would be when two people are working and pushing toward the same goal.
I did not start to combine finances with a partner until the age of 34, which was the first time I moved in with someone. I had lived my entire life on my own, I had my own house, have always paid for my own life, my own trips, my own dreams. And the financial benefits you receive when you start to couple up with someone and join forces is staggering. It is so expensive to be a single person. And I'm not saying this to throw a pity party, but just to recognizing that that's just another added layer of the struggle. If you're chronically single or someone who's never been in a relationship at all, as someone who identifies as the late bloomer. And it just blows my mind how the world is meant for partnered people. It's built for partnered people. And not that single people pay a penalty, but it just means that everything's a little bit harder financially, emotionally, when you don't have that other person. And hey, if you are happily living single, this video is not for you. But for those people who are struggling with it, this is where this is it's like salt in the wound. I'm a financially independent person. I don't need anyone to cover my bills, but will be the first to tell you that it is helpful knowing that there is someone in life helping push you both forward, just in all the ways that matter. So it's just a hard part. It's just a hard part of the single struggle I want to recognize.
That's exactly how it is, and it applies to everyone, even to men. Many men in healthy marriages can attest to this. Even when the woman stays at home and doesn't bring in a second income, there's still significant savings. Just having a partner who manages the household, takes care of the details, and provides emotional support is already a form of contribution that adds to overall well-being. Now, women tend to see even greater benefits because many men have a strong drive to be providers and end up covering almost all of the household expenses. This allows many women to keep up to 70% of their own money. They don't have to worry about working extra hours just to make it to the end of the month. Living alone might be good in terms of freedom, but it's still expensive. That's why today there are more people living in poverty than ever before. We've reached the end of the video, but before we go, here are the questions for you. Why are more and more women falling below the poverty line each day? Why is life so expensive these days? If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Your support means the world to us and motivates us to create more content. Stay tuned for the next exciting video from the wall.